Hey everyone, I am really excited about this week's episode of Life Beyond the Clouds. I have Katrina Brooks, who's the makeup artist to all the Nashville stars. She's done the biggest and the best, and she actually took out an hour of her time. We started talking so much, we had so much to say that she was able and willing to do a whole hour session with me. So we're going to do it in two parts because there was so much to talk about. The first part will be a lot of introduction and talking about what she does, and the second part, the following week, is going to be a lot about spirituality and faith and past life regression and how things have kept her so grounded with this busy life she has and all the people that she sees, how fame and things like this have kept her where she isn't grounded and how she turns back to that. She's such an amazing, beautiful human being. I hope you tune in and watch because she has a lot to say. So I want to thank all of you for liking and following. Please like and subscribe and please tune in. Thank you so much. God bless. Well, hi, everyone. I want to welcome Katrina Brooks back. This is part two of part one of her interview with me. She was so amazing, and I'm so grateful and thankful that you were able to give me the full hour. I know you're really busy. So I really want to just go ahead and get into it with you because there was so much that we wanted to talk about off camera, and we just said, we got to do a full hour, and you were willing. So thank you. So I really want to talk to you about past life regression. We're going to get into faith, spirituality, how people judge this so much, how we look at it is sometimes as if we don't have faith when we do this because we do have the faith. And you're the same way. You want to bring everybody on this journey because, my goodness, what is greater than knowing that you're loved and that there is a heaven, there is angels, there is God, and that we're all surrounded by love at all times, and they're always whispering in our ear and guiding us. And also things from the past. We do have other lives. We do. I know a lot of people, this can be a big, topic for some people, but we carry things over. And I know you just had a past life regression done a couple weeks ago, and I really appreciate that you're willing to open and talk about this. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about your experience and honestly what you learned and how it helped to heal you and what you understand that how sometimes the past can really interfere with the future. So I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this, and then I'm going to jump back in.
Yeah. Well, firstly, happy to be back. And we just had too much to talk about to fit it all
Yeah.
in the first segment. But yes, I had a past life regression done a few weeks ago, and I had been kind of waiting for the perfect time to do that because if you're not in a good place, you might not be ready for the messages that your past life will bring you. And I had the most perfect experience. And the crazy part is that we already have all of the information of our past within us. We just have to get to that part of our brain to like listen to it. So, a past life regression, you're really in a meditative state and you have someone with you helping you through and asking you questions. And the entire time, you feel like you've been put back into another life. And so, I could not believe it because when you're back in these other lives, you have to like get a little message from them as well. So, they all had um, messages to give future Katrina. And when I came out of it, I was like, oh my gosh, everything is within me. Like these are, it just, you come out of it and you're like, I understand now. And so, yeah.
Well, what I want to know, what I think people might find is interesting, because not everybody's been able or lucky enough to have something like this done, right? So, did you still feel like yourself? Were you still aware of
God,
yourself
you're,
when they did this? Like you were still kind of felt like you were here and there, like two places at once?
yes, like I'm not somebody that really, I don't meditate that deeply.
Right.
And so I was worried I wasn't even going to be able to do it. And so all of a sudden, you're in such a state of relaxation. You're fully present to the point where you're like, am I actually in my past lives? But when they're asking you questions and you just know the answers, you're like, this is real. Because I even knew my names. I knew the years that it
That's
was.
amazing.
All the questions she asked me about how I felt, what I wanted to tell my current self. And at the end of the day, all of your past lives are your spirit guides now. So it's almost like you were just remembering your team.
And Katrina, you can look at it like this also, even with past lives, but even being in this present life that we're in right now, the things that we hold on to every day in our life, right? The stuff that just wears us down, the constant like bombarding barragement of thoughts that we have, like we're not good enough, or I need to do this, or why doesn't this person like me, or
Right.
why do I keep going to the same person? Why do I keep getting back to the same person that doesn't make me feel good about myself, right? We all do that. We'll kind of gravitate to things and people sometimes that aren't always good for us. And I really believe the past is always in right in the present until we understand what it is and say, I understand that now and I'm going to let it go. Like this
That's
isn't
100%
serving
what
me.
the whole point of your past life regression is
Yeah.
to go back and see what makes you who you are right now, and then accept it and then move on.
Now, was there something that brought you to do this? Because it's always something bigger than you. There was something in you. You were going through a situation, or there was things I believe you knew that you wanted answers to. There was something, your angels, that guided you to do this.
It's really all just been one thing after another. I mean, meeting you first, and then, you know, I was starting to figure out where I belong with my faith,
Mm-hmm.
and how that can align with spirituality. And I went and had a Reiki session done. Quick
Okay.
little side note. And that was so eye opening and started to heal some things I didn't know I was storing. And so after a few Reiki sessions, I went and actually studied Reiki. And so now I'm a Reiki master, so I can
Good for you.
administer Reiki. But that is all what just led me on the journey of healing what is inside. And so Reiki was amazing for that. And then I was like, I think I'm going to be ready for a past life regression soon. And I'm lucky that my past life regression, at least the ones that my higher self let me see now, weren't too intense. Some people go back into the past and it's really, really intense.
Yeah.
And my higher self kept me from seeing a few things that I just didn't need to see, that I just knew and I didn't need to actually see it. And it was really more about just being awake. That basically my spirit guides were like, welcome, you're back. Now go spread the light and love and enjoy being there.
And that's really what it is. Even with me, with messages that I receive, and like I said, I was 9. I didn't look for this. I was 9 years old, but it was always beautiful for me. I've never had negative or bad experiences. And people think, that you can't intertwine faith with it. This has been around since time began. People, we all receive messages. We call it a coincidence or a gut feeling. And I'm really, even when I give messages to people that I receive from somewhere else, I'm just a messenger. And it's always from heavens for the other people that want to make other comments. But it's my faith that guides me. But it's always, even with me, I don't receive the negative because I've always made sure that I don't. And I only take it so far. If I've seen people pass tragically, I don't go into the whole way. They understand when you just give them a little bit of that. I don't believe in going down that road that makes somebody feel uncomfortable. It's always about getting to a point you stop because they're already there and they understand. It's about giving people hope and light and just saying to you, honestly, so many of us get up, Katrina, and we're in a really bad place right now and we feel sad and depressed and negative. And it's like with you, when you understand that all of a sudden out of nowhere, right, you'll get the feeling. For me, messages are a lot of feelings. It's those whispers in the ear and how it changes your life. But we're so afraid. And that's why I love you that you're not, and that you were so willing to do this today and give the whole hour, because you reach a lot of people. And when they see you talking about this, I'm telling you, they're going to say to you, Katrina, thank you. I didn't know, like I've always felt these things and was afraid. And I understand. And isn't this why we're here, is to bring our light to a dark world? It's like going into a dark room and turning on the light switch and you can see.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about.
Absolutely. And the same thing goes with Reiki, that you can hear and see and feel things, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to tell the person, because you will change the trajectory of their life. You can helpfully be like, you should go have like your checkup done. Like,
yes,
gently push them in the direction of health, because you can hear some things that the person is not meant to hear that they have. Like, let's just say cancer, for instance. Doing Reiki, sometimes you can tell that something is actually really wrong with them, and it's not your place to tell them. You just have to gently guide them into a direction of going to get medical care.
And I just even believe with any kind of a gift, we're only meant to see what God shows us, right? I say to people, don't ask me when someone's going to leave the physical earth. I'm not God. There's miracles, there's divine intervention. I can't see that. I know there's people that say they do. I don't see that. And I can't, because I see what I'm allowed to see. And it's always just to help bring peace to someone. It's help to better their life. And I believe gifts are so amazing. Like even with you being around people all the time, that you're so connected, you're always touching them, right? Mm-hmm. With the job that you do, your hands are always on them. So you're feeling their energy.
I'm not touching them, my energy.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. Your energy is so connected to people. And even now that you start doing the Reiki and things, like you're feeling their energy. And I believe that's why you do what you do. Because you came in with this also. Like, you've always sensed and felt things.
Yeah.
And I just think the more people open up to this, why would you want something that's going to help you in your life? Why would you not want
Right.
something that's just going to help to guide you? It's all about love and light, and it's just going to help. And this is why these kind of conversations, I think, really need to be had today, because we look at the news, we want to look at the negative, we look at, Facebook and Instagram, and it's always, about different things, instead of saying, you got to come back to yourself. You're never going to find complete happiness in someone or something else. That has to come from the soul. It's got to come from within, because then once you have it there, everything else works and it fits and
Right.
it's easy.
And if you're afraid of it, go open up the Bible. Like hands-on healing
Talk
has
about
been
this.
around for thousands of years.
Yes.
Crystals are in the Bible.
Yes.
Essential oils are in the Bible. Like we just forgot who we are. And
Yes.
so literally thank God so many of us are just trying to find our way back to who we were meant to be. And we all have each other to help.
I love that you just said that. I think that's such a profound statement. I almost would like to have that printed, and copied, because it isn't that why we're all here, is when you see someone and they're sad and you want to just reach out to them, put your hand on them and
Yeah.
just say, hey, are you okay? How can I help you? Or, give some sort of a message. Like even the 10 Commandments were made out of lapis. You talk about stones, right? People think that that was the second ones that were made after the first ones got destroyed. But the original ones, God and the angels are surrounded by blue, in heaven. So it's always about this. This has been around. People just wanted to turn things for their own gain and to make people feel really bad and to feel afraid of this. This isn't anything to ever be afraid of.
Right.
There should be no fear in this.
There is no such thing as bad life force energy. So
No.
the universe is energy. There is no negative.
No.
So I can do no negative with Reiki. But there are some things that people can alter for their own gain.
Yes. And we know that.
Yeah, that
is. It's real. It's fine. I think I just love that. Listen.
They want to be in the video.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean, that's where people need to start. They need to start knowing that it is not bad. It is not against God. It is not against religion to be spiritual.
No, because people use religion in ways to benefit themselves. I mean, how easy to control people by telling them they're bad and they're evil, right? And this is bad and this is evil when you go and they make you feel like that. Or, when you use God and say, this comes from God and I do have faith, but I want to help you with this. I'm sorry, you go to a doctor for help. Why would you not go for the soul? Everybody wants the soul to be healed. We all want to get to that place that when you see people, there's so much depression today, Katrina. It's off the charts. Oh my gosh, everyone's on medication. Everyone is depressed. Everybody is suffering. Why is that? Because we have the absence of really loving ourselves, of really feeling like we're okay.
Don't have a belief in a higher power.
No.
That is the main problem.
No, there's a lot of atheists today. There's a lot of people that proclaim they are, because that's kind of like the thing to do now, right? It's kind of just a thing. They really don't believe it. I don't believe it's kind of like what, it's like a new pair of jeans, right? It's popular for a while and then it just kind of goes away, but it can do a lot of damage while it's here. I
also think something in their past life happened for why they are so against it now.
I do too. I think everything comes from the past. And if we don't address it, it's just going to sit and fester. It's just going to keep building up until you let it go. It's almost like holding back on crying, right? How you just feel like if you just need to really cry, or with anything, you have to let it go. And there's ways of letting it go. But I agree with that. Like you doing that, I think this opened up so much for you and changed so much of you now. Like you just turned, you can be like at that crossroads. It's like, am I going this way or am I going to just try something new? And you decided to want to let go because your soul was saying, Katrina, you learned the lesson. You've got it. Your spirit.
My angels are constantly sending me numbers and signs, and they're like, finally, you
got it. And this is just what I really, believe with you, that you were able to finally do this and to let go. So now you feel better. You're starting over. It's like a rebirth. We start over many times in one lifetime, right? Sure. We never stay where we're at, right? We learn, and everything is like you learn to crawl, then you walk, then you run, then you drive. And this is what the life lesson is. And they're going to keep showing us new ones. Once we learn one, there's another one coming,
so true.
And this is just what I believe, like talking to you about this and people seeing this side of you that I've always known, that I think is so amazing and so incredible. I just think what you're offering is just an amazing thing. And even with you, I just believe you're on this new path right now with new opportunities. And I have to tell you though, and I said something earlier, because I kept seeing a butterfly with a teacup with you today.
Yes,
I kept seeing teacup and a butterfly. Yes. And it's your grandmother, because I feel like she sews. Like either she made dresses or wanted to sew.
Oh yeah, I only know how to sew because of that woman.
That's amazing.
We sewed all the time.
And there's something about even making like a wedding dress for you. Do you understand? I don't know why she talks about making your wedding dress.
I mean, I wish she could have done that,
I
but
know. She talks, do you understand? She loves to sew, and she makes me feel like with you, and a lot of your creativity comes from her. I feel like a lot of what you
oh, big
do, like it comes from her. It came from like when you were a little girl, and it just comes from her. And you know what else I want to change the whole thing now, because they change things with me, is I really want to talk about angel numbers, because
yeah.
people are seeing more and more angel numbers. I've always believed in them. You have, and now I have clients that come all the time and they'll say to me, what does this number mean? Why am I seeing this number all the time? It's because the divine is really trying to wake everybody up right now to say, I'm right here.
Big
I'm right
time.
here. And so
Yeah.
you'll go to look them up. I'll say, I want you to go look it up. I know what it means, but it's important for you to absorb it on your own time. Like you need to understand what they're showing you and where they're taking you. I just
And
think it's,
listen to your intuition when
oh,
you're
please.
seeing that number. Like, because a lot of times you get a message at the exact same time that you're seeing the number.
Yes.
So
And that's
for
what
me,
it is.
I saw a number and in my head was like, go look at that date. And I'm like, why did that just pop up in my head to go look at that date? And then you go and look at that date and you're like, wow, I would have never connected the dots if that didn't just pop in my head.
And that's another thing that's in the Bible is numbers and angel numbers. That's another thing as you're reading the Bible. It's all in there. Everything consists of numbers, right? Everything is in there. But it's really important. And it's amazing to me the people that are getting them now, the people that are actually starting to awaken. So when people say to them, no, you're not crazy, there's nothing wrong with you. You are getting this for a reason. It's because other times with messages, people will overlook it, call it a coincidence. But if you keep seeing that number on your clock, waking you up at night, on a receipt, on a license plate, you keep seeing it over and over again, that is a message to you to take the time, and they come exactly when you need it, to sit back.
And just know everything's going to be all right. Like you are literally being guided.
It is. Because we're going in circles right now down here. People are just going in circles. They don't really know where to go. You can't look for your leaders really for help. People don't know, where to go, where to look. So divine is saying, I've always been here, and they're being more present than they've ever been. So I think this is what people really need to start understanding. And the more you get on this journey, when you were a child, right, you think about, or in your dreams, how you can go anywhere, you can fly, you can do anything. Well, that's really what it is with them. Like everything seems possible with them. So the more we open up, I want to ask you, did you ever have a spiritual experience that to this day is like really like an encounter really stood out with you? Something you can just say, oh my gosh.
All the time. Like weekly at this point. I'm trying to think.
It's okay. Take a second and think about it, because I know with you there's a lot. And you know how sometimes you'll just say, and even sometimes you're getting them for other people, where you'll just say, like, I know I need to reach out to them. Someone will come to your heart, like you'll think about them very strongly, and then you'll call.
I'll go more into detail on what we were just talking about. So my friend sent me a text. She's in the UK. The time was 22:22, and I've never seen 4 2s. And so I was like, in my head, something said, go look at that date. And so the date in my phone, and when I say look at the date, I looked at my photos of what I was doing on that day. And I was showing my grandmother via FaceTime the butterfly tattoo that I was going to get.
It's amazing.
And I'm like, okay, that is absolutely wild. Because it was just a message from her. And I would have never thought to look at the date of when we were FaceTiming. She passed away a few weeks after that. So
isn't it amazing?
Butterfly. Yeah.
Because I just feel like butterflies, I even had down teacup and butterflies. I just feel like that's such the connection for her with you, that is. And is there anything with you with numbers on you? We're talking about getting numbers, or
what? My friend just told me to do that actually, like a few days ago.
Okay, because I hear your grandmother saying,
I have too many angel numbers.
I feel like your grandmother's guiding you on this, and it might just be the number you just talked about. You understand? It was the one message you got when she was there. It's so funny how they'll piggyback with me. Like we'll talk about something, and then they'll want to jump in and just say, because I feel like you're getting the number on you, and it's almost that number that you brought up for the reason. Do you understand the reason you said that number? Because that was the one number that connected you, and you said, I know that was from her, and I saw the butterfly. So it's almost like it gets by the butterfly or underneath of it, because it's like it's connected to that. And that's what she's showing me. I just think with you doing this today, I think it's going to change a lot of people, because so many more people are interested this than not. And they want to be brought on it in a way that feels comfortable and feels positive. and not
Right.
negative. And when I do these podcasts, I want it to be about everyone and include everyone. I don't want to talk about myself because it's more about everyone else and how amazing they
Right.
are in this journey. And the more people like you are so willing to open up and just say, it's real and it's helped me in my life and it's getting me to where I'm going, it's going to change so many other people. People are going to start reaching out and saying, I want to have this. You know, I mean, I want to be part of something that's beautiful.
Right.
So I just think with what you're doing and the path that you're on, and I'm honestly going to have you on again because I'm telling you, so many people are reaching out to me, even from the first part. Even my mother, that's what I was saying. Like, you know, she's 89, and she just her exact words were, "You was she was so spiritual," and I thought,
Oh,
what a beautiful way. No, but that was what people, you know, what I mean, that's what they received from you is that you were spiritual and that you had a light, and that's what people are drawn to. You know, we're always drawn to the light. Everyone's afraid of the dark, and why is that? Because it's scary. You don't know what's there. Everyone is drawn to the light. You want to either be in the sunshine, you feel good, or you want to be in a room that's lit up. And that's really what you are. You're this light that walks into the room and just automatically makes someone feel better and wants to give them hope. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. And I feel really blessed and honored that, honestly, I mean, that you were able to do this and that you were to share your time, not just me, with everyone, everybody that's watching and listening, that people are going to take away so much from this. And I really want to know, what is it that if you could give one message to people, what would it be? If you could say to everyone what you want them to know about spirituality and faith and hope.
well, once you open your third eye to it and you're like, okay, start showing me signs, you
Yep.
will probably see a sign immediately. And so that's kind of how I started. It's like baby steps, you know? Like, show me that you're here, show me that you're guiding me. And then it starts to just get really fun. And then I've always struggled with anxiety big time my entire life. I've tried to control everything. And in the last few years, with this stronger spirituality, I'm way more at peace. So there is no harm to come from asking for a sign or pray for a sign. And then, you know, baby steps, because a lot of people watching this have never experienced anything like this, or at least that they've noticed that they've experienced. But now they're going to be able to open their eyes to it.
Well, you know, and this is what I want to do with this too. Even when I give messages and I have sessions with people, I always say to them, it's not just the messages. When you leave, I don't want you to just to say that was great, that was amazing. I want you to take this with you. I want you to start opening up to the possibilities and that they're with you. They love you. I have my own group in heaven, right? But they're
Yeah.
going to go with you. And I want you to open up to the every day that this is with you and to stay connected with them. And don't just wait till we get so far behind, right? You know, sometimes it's like waiting till we get backed up and at the last second we're asking for help. And then we get so nervous that we're not getting the messages. Just every day, I always just say, start your day and say, my divine spiritual team, I give you permission to intervene in my life today and guide me, bless me, protect me, and heal me. Bring this to me. Show me what to do.
And
It's
it's more
simple.
than just our own spiritual team, like our loved ones that pass on and you're able to connect us to them. Like, that is what also keeps us going. Like, knowing that their energy is out there on their next journey, but they're able to, you know, pop in and say hello. It just makes you feel more at ease that everything is fine. And
Katrina, I can promise you they're more alive than we are. Heaven is a real place. You live in houses, you can go dancing and swimming. It's a mirror image of earth without time and jealousy and pain and suffering. It was the promise. They hear us. I always say you don't need people like me to talk to them. They hear you. They're going to
right,
answer. It's like a phone. If you call them and talk, you will get a response. So make sure what you're putting out is of love and light and it's what you want to receive because they do hear you and they want to help. It'd be like anyone. If you called a friend right now and you know, what I mean, and she said to you, or you said, I need help, she would come over and want to help you. She would be in the car and say, I love you. I'll be right there. It's the same thing with heaven. It's just a different vibration, but they're
right.
going to show you and take you to what it is you need. It's that simple. We've made it something that it shouldn't be. So I think this is the most fascinating and amazing conversation that we've had. And honestly, it's going to heal a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I would really love to have you on again because I really believe this is a continuation with you. I
Yeah,
just think that this is going to get so much response because people are going to listen and say, I want to be part of something that's this amazing and this beautiful.
yeah.
So I would love to have you on again. I know you're busy,
Love to be back.
but if you ever get the chance and the opportunity, I can't thank you enough, Katrina, and keep doing what you're doing and spreading your light because you're making a difference in your part of the world and you're changing lives every day.
Right back at you.
Thank you so much. All right. We'll
Thank
talk soon.
you.
God bless. Bye bye.
Bye.